Hello there, this is Dr. Saraswati from Avinash Lingam University, Department of Resource Management. We are going to discuss on the topic environmental parameters affecting the work efficiency. The physical aspect of workplace environment can have a direct impact on the productivity, health and safety, comfort, concentration, job satisfaction and morale of the people within it. On the one hand, social and cultural factors which affect the work system are assigned to the work environment. On the other hand, the term environment means the spatially surrounding fields, namely physical and chemical, and in addition biological. The physical and the chemical work environment can be differentiated according to the kind of influences it has on the working person. On the basis of the fact that individuals' work environments rarely appear isolated but in combination with each other, a considerable effect is only permissible for the entire environmental factor in combo with the work specific type of stress. So far, these interrelationships has been remained widely unexplored. That in practice, the consideration of the effects for each individual variable of stress seems to be appropriate. A condition for the measurement of the environmental influences is a realization of the physical and the chemical, and within the noise, climate and lighting, and the physiological variable and the regularities. If these scientific fundamentals are well known, the quantitative value of individual environment variables can be identified with the help of specific measuring methods and devices. Every workplace presents its own distinctive stress factors. The following are the major recognized stress factors in the workplace: complexity and the number of tools used in the workplace, unnatural environmental conditions, for example, thermal, noise, vibration, illumination, toxic material, etc. Physical and mental load or workload. Occupational factors which can affect the worker include environmental conditions like temperature, illumination and noise of the workplace, the physical and the mental requirement of the job, the worker's exposure to hazardous material, the interaction between the worker and the work environment. The milieu in which a worker executes his job has a big control on the efficiency and the strain the worker obtains while performing the activity. Even the most enhanced work technique is not going to help him if the workplace is inadequate, and if it is going to have inadequate lights, smokes and fumes, dirty and agonizing noise. Working conditions are those which surround the worker and will affect the physical well-being of the efficiency. Now, this particular working condition includes lighting, ventilation, temperature control and air conditioning, noise, and vibrations and color. Awful working environment can amplify the strain, decrease the effectiveness, lower the output, and thereby it will reduce the enhanced results or result related work study to change the working condition. So, there is obviously a need for recuperating the working condition, which can be amplified by safety improvement, diminish absenteeism and delay, advance their job presentation, diminish fatigue, that is a physical burden, decrease the mental encumber, perk up the efficiency of the individual, elevate the employee's self-esteem, improve the public relations, addition to increased production. The above mentioned factors enlightens on the need for recuperating effective conditions like ample lighting, controlled temperature, prerequisites of sufficient ventilation, no redundant sound or noise, neatness, hygiene and good housekeeping, immediate removal of annoying and injurious dust, smoke, gases, fumes and fogs, use of special protective equipments, sponsoring and implement the well-formulated first aid program. The first one of this would be lighting. The most significant environmental factor is lighting. Now, it increases the productivity, or it can also reduce the mishap and the effects to an employee's satisfaction. What could be the advantage of good lighting? It can improve the output and therefore diminish the cost of danger, or it can reduce the cost that occurs because of errors. Now the next one would be less accidents, increased product quality, good visibility, less spoilage and the strain on the eyes would be possible. Floor space utilization is good and housekeeping can be improved. Hygiene and sanitations can be better preserved. Easier and improved supervision of resources in the process as well in the finished product, and enhance the morale among the employee, consequential reduced employment turnover. Characteristics of a good lighting. Light should be of sufficient intensity for the particular operation being performed. Light should be equally bright throughout the shop floor. Light should be diffused and not glaring. There should be adequate but not sharp contrast between each part of an object and from the surrounding background. Light should not permit marked shadows, and dazzling light should be avoided. Looking into the nature of light, there are actually two types of light which is available in the environment. One is a natural light. In reality, is a paramount for one to work. But it has got a variance with time period, like it differs in a day, year, based on the weather, as well based on the conditions of the environment. The size and the position of the windows also has a major role in this. Moreover, it is just not possible to adjust the intensity of the natural lighting. This actually warrants for the need for the use of artificial lighting. Next is the artificial lighting. This is actually a planned one for an interior, and it would be in such a way that it should complement the natural lighting. Artificial lighting during daytime caters only to those areas that requires light. Artificial light sources can be varied in its kinds, of which the prime one include tungsten filament lamp, fluorescent tubes, and mercury vapor lamps. Tungsten filament lamps are actually inexpensive, easy to set up, and they are available with different wattage ranges. It possesses low rate efficiency and requires shielding so that glare is eliminated. Thus, this type of lighting is used only for local lighting. Fluorescent lamps and tubes are now getting replaced by filament lamps. Now, fluorescent lamps and tubes, they are the best competence, and they are available at a best rate and are in very regularly used in factories. Now, their current utilization is lesser amount when compared to that of the other lights, and they have low brightness rating with lifespan longer and with a number of color options. The major disadvantage of this particular lamp is being stroboscopic effect when looking at a rotating part of an object, and can cause maintenance issue as they are being used in a large number even in an average installation. Mercury vapor lamp, they have high intensity with ease of maintenance and have a long lifespan. The greenish blue light of the lamp produces an unnatural look. Mercury vapor lamps are available only in a large or store or shop, hangars, and in highway bays, as they are commonly used for industrial general lighting purpose. Reflectors may be employed for getting direct, diffused, or indirect light. Levels of illumination. Now, the unit used to measure the intensity of illumination is lumen, and 1 lumen per square feet being equal to a foot candle. Glare. When light is transmitted or reflected in such a way that an unpleasantness affects the eye and fatigue is increased and the attention gets distracted. This actually will be the cause, and it is actually called as glare. Now, direct glare comes from the unshaded part of an insufficient shaded lamp shining directly in line of the vision, and reflected glare is from a bright light falling on a polished surface from which it is reflected into the eye. The eye must constantly readjust itself to the brightness and darkness, and if fatigue results, the level of the general illumination should not be less than 1/10 of the foot candles supplied by the local fixture, and the ratio of 1:5 is more desirable. Ventilation. The process of ventilation is basically to swap stale air from the building by fresh air. The concentration of carbon dioxide, humidity, and the temperature will rise, and this smells bad if the stale air is not getting removed. Disagreeable fumes, gases, dust, and odors tend to cause fatigue, which in turn reduces the physical efficiency and increases the mental tension for the worker. Studies have proven that poor ventilation is associated with air movements as well with temperature and humidity, and this can lead on to depression of the worker. Ability for the body to dissipate heat gets reduced when humidity increases and the evaporative cooling decreases rapidly. Working under such situations can cause high heart rates, high blood pressures and temperatures, and possibility of slow recovery after work will likely to result. Modern technology of introducing greenery within the work premises have evidently proved that plants provide ample ventilation by increasing the number of air changes per hour. Endowing methods to ventilation. More the exposure to natural ventilation through windows and roofs or wall ventilators, and providing mechanical ventilation through exhaust fans from the factory building along with natural ventilation through the doors and windows. Third, temperature control and air conditioning. Both a very high and very low temperature can make workers fall ill, thereby adversely affecting their performance, efficiency, and reducing both production and the productivity. The normal human body maintains a constant temperature of about 98 degrees Fahrenheit. Large amount of perspiration evaporates from the skin when the body is exposed to high temperature. During this process, sodium chloride is carried through the pores of the skin and the residual layer forms when the evaporation takes place. This direct loss creates a disturbance in the normal balance of the body fluids, resulting in heat fatigue, heat cramp, and that in turn tends to slow down the efficiency and the productivity, and thereby there is also an increase in the work error. Extremes of climate like undue cold can also bring about losses in the production sequence, as heavy clothes worn for self-defense itself can reduce the speed of work due to its heaviness. Accumulation of sweat in the clothing can be a problematic issue to the worker as he experiences a feel of freeze or cold. The solution to such situation can be a change of wet clothing. Ample temperature to be maintained is always between 65 to 75 degrees all round the year. This temperature level brings down the losses and slows down that has been experienced due to heat fatigue or heat cramp and lack of manipulative dexterity. Air conditioning. Controlling the air temperature, humidity, cleanliness and distribution of air is called as air conditioning. Heating and cooling of air in winter and in summer respectively is done by the means of temperature control. Heat may be produced from the central heating plant by means of hot water or steam as a heating medium. Piping the coolant from a centralized compressor plant to the local area where the air is run through the coils leading to cooling. Installation of self-contained air conditioners directly into the rooms can bring about a cool atmosphere. Humidity of air is attuned by addition of moisture to it in winter and by elimination of moisture from the moist summer air. Foreign materials such as dust, etc. can be cleaned from the air by a thorough spray of water is forced into the air. Second one, use of filter to cleanse the air. Third is electrostatic precipitation. This can be obtained by proper positioning of incoming air ducts and the exhaust outlets, and this can lead on to air motion. Chemical removal of odor and bacteria which is present in the air. Third one, the purpose of air conditioning in the building could be meticulous measurement errors due to expansion of instrument parts can be avoided. Workability can be enhanced as in tobacco and textile industry. Quality of workmanship is also promoted to curtail deterioration of perishable and non-perishable materials such as meats, fruits, vegetables, and certain oils and chemicals. Employees' efficiency can be enhanced by reducing fatigue, which helps to maintain workers' morale and creates a good public relations. Product quality and output can also be improvised. Corrosion and deterioration of certain material can be brought to minimal. Safeguarding the workers from occupational hazards like harmful dust like silica dust, smoke, and poisonous gas. Better psychological atmosphere and hygienic surrounding can be promoted. Last one we would have is noise and vibration. Worker fatigues easily in a surrounding where both loud and boring noise are prevailing. Constant and intermittent noise can also be liable to kindle the worker psychologically, leading to loss of temperature and difficulty in doing precision work. Clashes and poor conduct on the part of the workers can often be attributed to disturbing noises. Tests have proven that irritating noise level heighten the blood pressure and result in irregularities of the heart rhythm. Hence, noise affects the job performance, health of the employees, and the employees' morale. Noise control means diminish undesirable noises to decrease mental fatigue of the workers and that could result in accident and industrial deafness. Here we present a table which has got the source, distance in meters and intensity of each noise from the main source. Most industrial maneuver are deafening. Noise is injurious to human beings and it can turn out to be a health hazard. Irregular noise is occasionally more damaging than the constant noise. Noise can cause loss of hearing in human being. It can distract the attention and concentration of the worker and can also cause annoyance and thereby affect the mind of the worker. Noise may be controlled. Now, how are we going to control this noise? By proper machine lubrication, maintenance, padding, and by providing noise mufflers. Using noise absorbers are also possible. Improving the workplace layout. Isolating the noise sources from the workplace. Redesigning the entire plant for better acoustical properties. Next is vibrations. Machines are usually constructed of localized masses, each of which contains a moving part. Because of the extensive range of speed and swiftness combination of the moving parts, machines do not constantly move at the same velocity. Moreover, the machine configuration is subjected to forces in diverse directions. As a result, the machine commences to vibrate. Vibrations are objectionable for numerous rationales. After extensive periods, vibration can source to structural fatigue and eventual failure of mechanical systems. Vibrations can also lead to annoyance and disturbance. Sound radiations and airborne noise are the results of vibration. Now, vibrations can be curtailed by 1. Machine foundations are to be separated from the adjoining floors. Designing the machine foundations that are not being laid by rule of thumb, but they have to be laid by using an accepted criterion. Balancing the machines dynamically and properly. 4th, general working area is far away from the vibration producing machines such as hammers and presses, etc. Vibration absorbers and the impact dampers, etc. can be used. Springs, rubbers or felt can be used to mount the machines. Vibration can cause detrimental effect on the human performance. Vibrations of high amplitude and low frequency have especially undesirable effect on the body organs and tissues. Parameters of vibrations are frequency, amplitude, velocity, and acceleration and jerk. There are 3 classifications of exposure to vibration. 1. Circumstances in which the whole or the major portion of the body surface is affected. For example, when high intensity sound in air or water excites vibration. The cases in which vibrations are transmitted to the body through the supporting area, for example, through the feet of a man standing by a shakeout facility in a foundry. 3rd, instances in which vibrations are applied to a localized body area, for example, to the hand when the power tool is being operated. The 2 above has the greatest effects on the working efficiency and on the health, safety and comfort of the working force. The various parts of the body resonate at specific frequencies, causing disturbances. Moreover, human tolerance of vibration decreases as the exposure time increases. Now, types and effects of vibration. We have 2 methods. One is whole body vibration, abbreviated as WBV. It is WBV, and this is the basis for poorly designed or poorly maintained vehicles, platforms or machineries that can cause or exacerbate other health problems such as low back pain, motion sickness, damages to the bone, varicose veins, heart diseases or heart conditions like from variations in the blood pressure because of vibration, stomach and digestive condition, changes in the respiratory, endocrine and metabolic system, vision impairment, balance or both, damage to the reproductive organ. Risk of health and muscular disorder would be greater if the worker is exposed to WBV for a longer duration. The next comes is the hand-arm vibration, which is abbreviated as HAV. Use of handheld tools such as pneumatic tools, example would be concrete breakers, chain saws and grinders, etc. for a long term can lead to a range of conditions and diseases which include white finger, which is also known as dead finger, and damage to hands causes whiteness and pains in the finger. The next would be carpal tunnel syndrome, another symptom similar to the occupational overuse syndrome. 3rd, sensory nerve damage. 4th, the muscle and joint damage in the hands and in the arms. Example for this would be tennis elbow. These conditions and diseases can have great grim cost on the people. The effects can be enduringly disabling even after a few years of uncontrolled exposure. Workers may be protected against the vibration in several ways. One would be applied force responsible for initiating the vibration may be reduced. 2. The body positions may be altered so as to result in lessening the distributing vibratory forces. Supports may be introduced that it will cushion the body and thus damp the higher amplitude vibration. Seat suspension systems involving hydraulic shock absorbers, coil or leaf spring, rubber mounting or torsion bars may be used. The next one would be color. As we all know, color derives from the spectrum of light, that is the distribution of light power versus wavelength, interacting in the eye with the spectral sensitivity of light specters. Color categorizers and physical specifications of color are also associated with the objects or material based on their physical properties such as light absorption, reflection and emission spectra. By defining a color space, color can be identified numerically by their coordinates. Color plays a very important role in the world in which the line of use is being established. Color can sway thinking, change action and can cause reaction. It can smooth your vision, raise your blood pressure. Color is also irreplaceable and sends universal messages like red means stop in a traffic signal. Uses of color. Use of color can be to speed the visual search, to improve the object recognition, to enhance meaning, to convey a structure. It can also be used to establish identity. For symbolism, it can improve the usability. Colors are used to communicate mood, and colors also has got association with the snow, and color express metaphors. Light and color can manipulate how people recognize the area around them, and different light sources influence how the color of walls and other objects are witnessed. Specific hues of color seen under sunlight may differ when the same is seen in the light under from an incandescent or tungsten light bulb. Lighter colors may emerge to be more orange or brownish, and darker colors may come out even darker. Light and color of an object can influence how one perceives its place. If a light or shadow or the color of the object camouflage an object's true outline, it can appear to be created in different way from the reality. Objects under constant light source will endorse better impression of three-dimensional shape. Color of an object may have an effect on whether or not it seems to be in motion. In particular, the course of objects under light source whose intensity varies with space is more tricky to determine than the identical object under the uniform light source. This could possibly be understood as interference between motion and color perception, both of which are more difficult under the variable lighting. The efficiency and the productivity of work environment is directly affected by the worker's surrounding. Different colors spark different feeling and moods, and the way in which a color used can also affect or act as a tool to help with the certain work-related tasks or challenges. The best colors for work environment may not be the best for everyone. Warm colors like red, orange and yellow can evoke excitement and energy. These are actually good to use in small doses because they make a big impact. A cool color like blue and green promotes focus. Blue is calm and smoothing. But if you tend to get sleepy in a work area, you should avoid blue-green colors to support the attention and memory attainment the best. If you need help in focusing, green might help with that. Neutral colors like you have tan, beige, grey, white and cream suggest stability and creditability. Neutral colors are usually used as a base for color scheme, and the accent colors are used with them to create more interest in the color scheme. Now, to conclude, factors of workplace environment does play an important role towards the employee's performance. The factors of workplace environment also gives an immense impact on the employees either towards the negative outcomes or the positive outcomes. So, according to Bowles et al. Of 2004, when the employees are physically and emotionally have the desire to work, then their performance outcomes shall be increased. Moreover, they also stated that by having a proper workplace environment, it helps in reducing the number of absenteeism and thus can increase the employee's performance, which will lead to the increasing number of productivity at the workplace. Thank you.